Hello, my name is Johnny Binder, General Curator of Cameron Park Zoo. Today we're going to be talking about some of the fascinating elements of zoo design. Let's step into the wild. When most people think of educational partnerships at Cameron Park Zoo, the images that typically come to mind are zoo school tours and presentations involving the zoo's education animal collection. But the zoo also partners with colleges and universities on special projects. And one such special project I'd like to tell you about involved the drafting and design department at Texas State Technical College right here in Waco. These students designed two night houses, one for the flamingos in our African area, the other for the zoo's giant tortoises, as well as a special events pavilion to be located down in the zoo's meadow area. It all began with a few critical introductions.
One of our board members, K. Paul Holt, is the Executive Director for the Association of General Contractors, and through some of his contacts out here at Texas State Technical College, we were able to make contact with their design and drafting group, and everything just kind of snowballed from there.
Natalie Wallace and Hillary Espinoza were assigned to work on the designs for the new Special Events Pavilion, and Belia Garcia Reyes designed the night houses for the tortoises and flamingos. These structures will be made of concrete, which is more durable than the wood structures that were originally constructed in 1993. One of the critical life lessons for the design students was learning to work with a client to implement their vision for the projects.
It was a huge honor, especially working with such a renowned organization like the Cameron Park Zoo, and they were really great working with us and giving us their ideas.
We developed an outline of how we could achieve their project and develop the design of what they wanted. So through a series of follow-up meetings, we were able to revise it and keep along an avenue to the final conclusion of the project.
Belia, who is deaf, communicated with the zoo staff through her interpreter, Clarice Barron. Her designs for the night houses had to meet the unique needs of the animals.
Well, the tortoises were huge, they were very big, and they really were not comfortable. They were able to ruin some of the things that were too low, for example, the spigot. And so they told me, oh, just make it comfortable so there's more room for the tortoises. There were 3 huge tortoises there, so I had to create something that would be comfortable for them, and then to be able for the zookeepers to go in and out, and then they would be comfortable, the 3 of them, sleeping at night. The outside, I had it match, of course, the rest of the zoo things that they have, for example, the poles, the timbers that they use, and the front was left with some wood on it to match the rest of the zoo designs. I was happy to improve on the flamingo house because it was really in bad shape. So I felt that I was experienced enough to be able to work on the flamingo area, and so I worked on it in 1 week actually. I went inside there and everything was ruined and awful. All the wood was just really dried and broken up. So I had to consider how to make it better, how to improve upon it, using steel also, just like the tortoise bay. And also not only make the little pool inside bigger, but make it a place where there could be breeding area. Instead of all together in the same, all different species, and so it would be better, they had said, to have another building, and so that's what they wanted, another building, and make it safe.
Natalie and Hillary considered environmental issues and functional needs for special events when designing the pavilion.
First of all, we had to consider the space that we were given. There's trees in the area, there's trails in the area, and we wanted to make sure that we could come up with a design that was big enough but functionable as well to be designed in the area and the space that we were given. The pavilion is really open, but at the same time it's symmetrical. So, I mean, if you had a wedding there, it's perfect for a bride to walk down the center of it. And there's a big open area for a stage. We did add a kitchen, and it is going to be designed openly where people will be able to see inside of it.
The students' work benefits the zoo in several ways, beginning with savings on architectural costs.
Typically with a zoo architect, they're very expensive, and for you're looking at anywhere from a sometimes 14 to 24 to 25% cost of the project. So if you're looking at $1 million project, you've got quite a bit of cost just to go to the design implement part of it. So what this does is it allows us to get some designs in hand. We can actually have a cost estimate developed. Then it allows us to go out and find sponsors and underwriters for that instead of us just kind of guessing. What this does is gives us more of a footing and more of a background so that we know what we're getting into and we don't over-design something. For what the projects we're looking at, we can guess at a project, but this way we can actually put some building materials and some actual square footages and different equipment we're going to need and have that all specified. And have that, we could take that to a contractor and say, could you give us an estimate of what you think it would cost to build? And it gives us a ballpark so that then we can try to get the project underwritten.
As the students completed their final projects, they graduate with real-life experiences and drawings for their portfolios, and their client couldn't be more satisfied with their final designs.
The girls did an absolute phenomenal job. I don't know what I really expected. I kind of expected to see some floor plans, but I think they took it to another level. They actually put in some electrical requirements that we asked for. One of the girls actually researched equipment and heaters and different light fixtures in ways that we can make some of the animal exhibits better for the species involved and allows us to retrofit as we need to. The pavilion, which is really kind of nice, they built in a lot of different things that we had all thought about, but hadn't actually pieced them all together. So this allowed them to piece it together, and they've got this really slick model thing to where they can bring it up in 3D. We're very particular about how we place something into our forest, and that we have very little impact on our local environment. And so this allows us to actually see how it's going to fit and whether or not we need to tweak a building or tweak a corner to make it fit our site. And this just makes it super easy for us.
Thank you for joining us on this edition of Step Into the Wild. Come out and visit your zoo soon.